So I'm going to begin by creating a login form, and I'm going to try to keep this as generic as possible so that I can reuse it for other projects. So I'm going to start with my includes folder, and I'm going to right click and create a new file, PHP file for login under constants.php. And I'm also going to right click on the includes and create a new PHP file for login.css.php. And in the CSS file, I'm going to add a header line. So content type text/CSS. And then I'll close off the PHP island. And then I'm going to right click on my video poker and create a new PHP file. And so this will be login.php. And I'm going to try to keep all of the login stuff in one page. So let's begin by requiring once include/login constants. And then we'll switch over to HTML. Login or register. So I'll have both on the same page. And then in the head, I'm going to add link rel is style sheets. Type is text/CSS. href is include/login.css.php. And now I can start working on my HTML. So I'm going to start with a div box ID content. Make this login content. And then inside I'm going to put a single form. Method is post, because I don't want to put passwords in a URL ever. And then action is going to open the same page, so login.php. So basically, when I submit one of these forms, it's going to reload login.php and pass in the values. And then if the login was correct, it will redirect to some page. If the login information was incorrect, I'm going to display some sort of error message and then rewrite the forms so that the user can re-enter their information until they successfully log in. And I'm going to have both login and registration on the same page. So let's go ahead and create the forms for login and register. So I'm going to put this stuff in a table with a class, login table, and then I'm going to have a header line login header, and this is going to be login to your account. And the table is going to have two columns in it, so I'm going to add a call span here. And then the form fields are going to be in table rows. So that's a login label. And this will be username : and then an input. Type is text. Name is, and then here I want to use a constant. So echo username, actually pick that one word, username field, so it's a form field. And then I'm going to copy that. And this one is going to be the password. And the type is going to be password. And it's going to use password key. And actually, these are going to be parameters in the field, the form. So I'm going to call this key instead. And then finally, I need a submit button. So this is going to be a single TD with call span 2. And class is going to be, oops, I don't know why I did that, login submit. And this will be input, type is submit, name is login. Okay, so that's the first form. I need to define username key and password key, so I'm going to put those in login constants. So these are form field names, const username key is username, const password key is password. And then I'm not going to do any styling yet. So let's go ahead and try loading this login.php in a browser, see what we get. So video poker, login.php. Okay. So this will look better when it's styled, but it seems to be okay for now. And then I'm going to add a div box. And then I'm going to copy this table, paste it, and then this is going to be login user key, login password key, and this is going to be register username key and register password key. And then I'm also going to add another line for password confirm. Confirm password. So register confirm password key. And this is going to be register. So let's fix those constants. So this is login, login, login under, login under, and register, 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 and then register confirmed. And register confirmed. And the reason I'm doing this, creating separate keys for each of the form fields, is because I'm going to make these sticky. And if the user fills in some of these fields and hits submit and gets an error, I'm going to initialize the values of the form fields to be whatever they typed in the previous thing. So I need to know which field a particular value came out of instead of just having both of these be username and both of these be password. So let's go ahead and reload, see what we have. Okay. So that's pretty close to what I want. I just need one more thing. I need to put a place for an error message. So div ID is login error. And then I'm going to create a PHP island, echo error message. So this error message is going to be set at the top here, depending on whether the login was successful or not. So for now, I'm just going to say error message is an empty string. And then I also need to know whether the user clicked on the login button or on the register button. So I'm going to add a value here as well. And here, like so. But I'm going to want to refer to these things in a couple of places, so I'm going to make constants for those as well. So let's go ahead and const login button value is login, and const register button value is register. And then in my login form, I'm going to make this be a PHP island, echo login button value, and then here I'm going to do the same thing with register button value. Okay, so let's reload. Okay, a couple of quick fixes. This should say register a new account, and I got the name and value backwards on these buttons. So let's go ahead and fix that. So register a new account, and then this should be value, and this should be name, and this should be value, and this should be name. And then reload. Okay, so that looks good. So in the next video, we'll look at styling this page so that it looks a little more professional.